fire's hot! God damn it.
Hey, guess what happens when you stand in the fire? Dude, I'm so gonna make that like a fucking... I'm gonna take that sound clip of you saying, "Oh my god, fire's hot!" That's gonna be like a regular on the fucking show. Anytime anyone dies, or anyone stands in something, oh my god! I'm gonna send it into fucking DBM.
Burn the shit out of him.
I'm gonna send it into DBM, and every time a boss does a mechanic where you're supposed to stand out of it, instead of,
Oh my god, the fire's hot!
instead of like, you know, boom, little girl, fucking big bad boy.
Run away, little girl.
Exactly. It's gonna say, "Oh my god, fire's hot!" Hello and welcome to the third episode of Noggenfoggered.
I'm Q,
I am Menel, as a matter of fact.
and this is our weekly podcast covering the trials and tribulations of a 10-man guild known as AFN. And,
ninjas.
you know,
Amazing.
all of the things that encompass that. WoW, rating, various mechanics,
Social life. No.
or lack thereof.
lack
We
thereof.
play WoW, we don't have
Yeah.
a social life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome back. This is episode 3. And
If you are a repeat viewer, welcome back, especially.
absolutely. Welcome back, especially because
Other people.
yeah, we probably don't have that many repeat viewers at the moment. This evening, well, I think we'll already cover this in a previous.
We may be drinking something besides Jaeger tonight. We may be drinking something that's always
Dun, 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 dun. Clear.
Well, you can't say clear. That's always
Colorless?
sure. Yeah. The
Clearly colorless?
the clarity is absolute.
Sparkling?
It's sparkling clear.
Very high?
Anyway, it's very high. Anyway, we are partaking in another tasty beverage,
Mm-hmm.
which is very flammable, but
Highly flammable.
highly flammable.
The candle is not fake, it burned my thumb. The
Fire is hot.
Fire is hot.
And did you find anything in that fire?
No.
Any epics?
There's
Purple?
there's nothing but pain in the
Blues?
fire.
Any blues?
Nothing but pain.
You have a repair bill in your thumb?
There's nothing but pain in the fire.
You have to go to the hospital. If you burnt yourself and you had to go to the hospital,
Would that be a repair bill?
would that be a repair bill?
Would the guild cover it?
Ooh.
I don't think the guild would cover it.
Those are questions that we must ask ourselves.
And answer it another time.
Another time.
Let's
So
get
anyway,
started.
Let's get started.
This week in AFN.
This week in AFN.
Or does it come from here?
I'm going to say because I'm playing with new effects and maybe from some top, bottom, left, right, I don't know.
Anti-counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise. Yeah, week in AFN. What did we do this week? Last time we met you, or last we left you, rather, we were planning
attempting
on
Archimedes.
Yeah. Archimedes.
We got a kill.
Did get a kill.
It was one of those, hey guys, this is our last pull of the night type kills.
Because you're such a big fan of last attempt speeches.
You know, I've done them. I'm not a fan. I don't do them normally.
You've done them typically, whatever.
They come, they go, whatever. We were able to kill Archimedes. It was actually a pretty solid kill, that attempt. I think we had one failure. 2 failures? 1 failure. One failure and clever use of game mechanics, as it were.
Some good RNG and who Archimedes may or may not have chosen.
Oh, Gorfine and the Ghosts. Yeah, we got an Archimedes kill, and that was excellent.
Critical rolls? What do we call that again? Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Let me ask you a question. How important is that bio, that stopping? You know, when you're working on something, you're beating your head against the wall, you're close, you can taste it, your time is running out.
It's delicious.
Is it better to spend that time? Say you have enough time for 4 attempts, or 3 attempts, or 2 attempts. At what point in time do you say, okay, we're going to take 10 minutes, which is equivalent to like 1 attempt. Everybody's going to stand up, take a couple breaths, go get a drink, take a piss, whatever you got to do. Walk your dog, do a tattoo. Lol, what was that hunter's name? Dude, Snow. Do tattoo, do Prince Albert, whatever you got to do.
nipples.
You got AFK, do something. How important is that? Coming back, because that's what, like right after that, it was like 1 or 2 attempts, dead.
A bio with about 30 minutes left in raid can either be extremely productive or extremely counterproductive. If you have a really good string of focus and you're really getting close, I think it's a poor choice to take a bio. But if you've had a couple mishaps and people are starting to get sloppy,
sloppy,
that's a fantastic
maybe
time.
dying to something they should get out of, or not getting out of a breath.
Yeah, it's a great time to take a bio. Let people focus. You know, let them know that you only have 3, maybe 4 good attempts left in for the night. Which really for us was the end of the week in raiding.
It was
because we have a Wednesday Thursday schedule.
Absolutely.
So
this was kill a new boss or don't kill a new boss.
we were getting down to the wire.
What are we? As of last week, we're tied for what? Third, 10-man?
No. Oh yeah, 10 man. Yeah,
we were 10-man was like tied for third or something. So, you know, it was either get that new kill or don't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. The emphasis on a bio as far as raid leading and success of the raid overall cannot be understated. Due to the fact, man, you fail at the iPhone.
Dude, I'm amazing.
Cannot be understated due to the fact that it allows your raid to maintain its focus. It allows everyone to decompress and reset themselves. You know, have a zen moment,
Absolutely. Get some tea.
little woosah. But you know, it definitely helps, especially as you're encountering more and more progressively challenging content.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As we move past the lull kills into the fights that are going to take 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 nights to actually get through your multi-phase complex encounters.
Yeah.
You know, the bio is not just, oh dude, I gotta take a piss. It's, hey guys, we need to talk about the strat. We need to focus. Everyone needs to understand.
Post a video while you guys are en route.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone needs to understand what their role is and what is expected of them. I think that's a very important thing to note as far as running a raid, running a guild goes.
And sometimes just taking a step back and walking around a bit, getting something to drink, get some fresh air.
Just takes a second.
Absolutely. People get tired of sitting there for 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
3 hours.
I mean, there's a certain level of
Because
focus.
really, we'd pushed pretty hard that night. We hadn't taken a bio yet. I mean, I've went raids, 4 hours long without taking a bio. But we were 2 and a bit in, approaching the end of our raid, and we tried to take one about halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
We were approaching the end of our raid. We hadn't taken one yet. You take that bio.
Yeah, it was a good time to allow people to just kind of settle themselves and move on.
Absolutely.
But that was our Archimedes kill. This week, due to unfortunate conflicts, we were unable to work on progression rating.
On
So
Wednesday.
we decided to
For Wednesday.
For Wednesday.
I should say.
Tomorrow we should have a full complement of raiders again. But today we did a throwback. Went back to ICC to knock out some of the meta achievements.
Some of the achievements we didn't have an opportunity to work on. Some of us played different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Come Lich King, lol Mordecai, come lol Q.
Paladin.
Go back and get some cool stuff that we just didn't have yet.
Mm-hmm.
We brought a couple people from way back to fill some roles, fill some shoes, and it was a good time. All in all, it was a good time.
Pretty successful night. We didn't get everything done we wanted to, but again, due to time limitations and the fact that we were waiting around tonight for some people who never showed.
Yeah.
We didn't get as much time as we might have wanted, but at the same time, a couple drinks, a couple laughs, relatively easy mode run. It was nice to everyone to decompress a little bit.
Well, it's nice to not always be focused on, oh my god, task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool. I mean, you only have 2 days a week to get something done, so you want to get as much done as you can. But when you have that group of people together, it's nice to see that everyone was down for doing ICC and not flaking off and we're not going to do serious content. I mean, everybody was.
They were on.
They were pretty much for it. So
it was team forward. Really,
absolutely.
Everyone was for the raid, for the guild.
Everyone was good to go.
It was very encouraging to see.
Absolutely. And got just about. I mean, someone's walked in. There were some people who had shot. He hadn't even seen ICC yet, and got just about every meta up through Syndergosa. So
yep.
I mean, it's not like we didn't achieve anything tonight. It was a good. It was a good time.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice change of pace.
Absolutely.
But looking ahead, we face a rather interesting decision of direction. We have cleared almost all, arguably all, of the relatively simple kills in the content so far to achieve an 8 out of 12 kill rate. We are left with 3 choices. We can go to Alakir, we can go to Nefarian, or we can go to the Elemental Monstrosity / Council fight in Bastion of Twilight.
Followed by Shogal.
Followed by Shogal. Would be the 4 that we haven't killed. Alakir is kind of a whatever fight.
It's kind of a whatever fight. The loot's kind of whatever. That's what gets me.
Yeah, it's for those of you who don't know, it's random-based loot encounter. All the greens that drop in WoW come with a suffix. That suffix is determinative of the statistics on the piece itself.
Prefixes in WoW?
No, they're not prefixes. Wow.
Really?
If you play Diablo, an item would drop. It would have a prefix and a suffix.
Blank blank of the blank blank.
And those two names would determine what the item did. For example, in Vanilla WoW, well, rather in BC, of the bandit was agility, stamina, and attack power.
Amazing.
It was fantastic for very few classes. I think that they have done phenomenal changes.
Some of the new ones are really cool.
To the name
Some of the new ones
system
are really cool.
of the landslide,
Landslide,
Earth
Earth
Shatter, things like that.
really cool.
But we've
one
never
that's
had.
like-
You've never had epic gear that was random. The entire premise of the Throne of the Four Winds
Oh, the
is
spider boss.
all of the gear.
Very, 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 very few. Less than 1%, probably.
The entire premise of the Throne of the Four Winds is
100%
random based loot.
It's all
You know-
359 epic
Yeah.
random gear.
The first encounter will drop a ring and a belt with a random suffix, and Alakir drops
Legs and weapons.
And
Weapon?
Is it a weapon?
There's
I think it is
caster
weapon.
dags that come out
Yeah.
of there. Yeah.
Legs
I
and a
think.
weapon
Maybe wrong.
of a random suffix. So every time you kill the encounter, it's random what piece you'll get. You know it'll either be legs or a weapon, or one of each, but it will always have a random suffix.
Now, we were really lucky the first week we put it in there. We got some pretty good stuff.
We got a
usable
tank belt,
gear.
and we got
Very
a
nice tank
very
belt.
nice DBS caster ring.
Yes.
So it's kind of a hit or miss with that raid instance. Whether you'll get good gear, whether you'll get whatever.
You may get just extremely failed gear, though, however.
So that is Alakir, and we probably will not pursue that until we have
That'll
finished
probably be our
other
last
goals.
one.
Yeah.
I think.
So really the choice is Nefarian or the Elemental Monstrosity. Nefarian is the last boss in Blackwood Descendant, arguably the most complicated. This tier of regular
To people who've been around, he is Miss Blunt, Rosh
some gear for our raiders. At this point, most of our raiders, well, maybe not most, but at least half of our raiders are still raiding in half bows.
Absolutely.
I mean, 346. I hope nobody is rocking 333s.
Patch 4.0.6 came out along with like 3 or 4 other hot fixes days that followed directly following. Some changes to the hunter class, since the last week.
Couple nerfs.
Couple nerfs. Hunters were OP, dude.
Hunters.
Hunters were OP.
Hunters were very strong. I wouldn't say they were OP. They were very strong.
Hunters were very strong, very very strong this week. They've been working out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blizz brought out. They brought out the nerf bat.
It's like the what?
They came out swinging, dude.
They came out.
Blizz
swinging.
came out swinging with the nerf bat.
Ghost Crawler wants to buy the pet. Nerfs you. It's like the old
Vindication.
Vindication. Yes. Yes.
Over the stats.
Yes.
But Hunter's got it.
It's an auto. They're
something hit close to home.
We try to block it out. There's this amazing talent in the arms tree if you PvP at all, by the name of Juggernaut. Is it too soon to break that out?
Don't you know who I am?
Juggernaut used to be this. Insert random. It used to do this.
It is now.
It's now
Don't
this.
you know who I am?
It's gonna be so awesome when I had all that shit.
I'm the Juggernaut.
Basically, that's
For
what
once,
happened.
I came up with a good comical interlude.
It's pretty.
This one was me.
It's pretty funny.
I hope it turns out funny because I'm straight claiming it.
That's
Like,
cool.
ooh,
It's
not
cool
really
if it
funny
come
at
out
all.
funny because I'm the one that put it together. So,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, it works. It's very funny, but it's very very sad. That's one of the reasons that I play a warrior, and that's one of the biggest reasons that coming into Kata, that's my options. Yeah, play my Pally, which I've been playing and had a good time on, and it was really fun because I could play as a healer as well, which I found that I actually liked.
And you haven't healed since it came out.
Yeah, healed since it came out. I could play my Pally, I could go back to my warrior, or I could play my lock, which is always a good time. But just because I'm so comfortable on warrior and I've played it for freaking ever, and we're going back to Cataclysm, and it was my original main in vanilla. I went with my warrior, but that's part of the problem. Like one of the reasons that I loved playing my warrior was the movement, just the sheer mobility you had as a warrior is amazing. It's the absolute. It's what defines the class.
Yeah, for a melee character, a warrior has more mobility than any other class in the game.
Any class of the game.
When you talk about mobility, mages and hunters have extraordinary mobility. And they've
Nothing.
given some to the warlocks as well.
Nothing like a warrior has.
No, nothing like a warrior.
Nothing like a warrior has. Had.
Especially as you add
Had.
heroic leap into the mix.
That's what I'm saying. Had. Now they probably still. DPS warrior still is
tell
close.
people what happened to Juggernaut. What happened?
Okay, so basically, they put intercept and charge on the same cooldown.
So you can't just charge. Oh, never mind. I was just kidding. I want to be over there.
You can't
Switch
just
stances,
charge.
intercept.
Intervene. Intercept. Heroic leap. It takes one thing out of the fold. So now, really, an arms warrior in PvP has no reason ever to leave battle stance. Which may be part of their thought process. Maybe they're like, oh, we want to stop that from happening because we suddenly hate
You
warriors.
want to talk about a definitive thing of the class? That's really what the warrior class is based around. Is
stances.
Your three stances. You have your arm stance.
Well, and it's like, and then the closest thing to it is a DK. But when do you ever change presence as DK? Do you?
Not anymore. Now that they changed DKs with Kata release, you never really change stances. Even as a tank, you will stay in blood presence because of the enhanced rune regeneration that you get through your spec. You'll never change your stance. It will not benefit you to go into frost presence for the damage or unholy presence for the
only
the
time
haste.
I can ever see a warrior changing stances ever now is for like a shield reflect, or a spell reflect for like a PvP warrior, and if you're prot and you want to do something like say a colossal smash because they're the second
Not that
tank and
you've
your target's
ever
dead.
done that while tanking.
Not that I've ever done that while tanking.
I'm so glad you didn't have that crap at Nax. Patchwork would have kicked.
I
your
still have
ass.
recklessness and burger stance.
He would have kicked your ass.
I heard that if you wear all block
I don't
gear
hear about it.
and go berserker stance and recklessness, and
I don't hear about it.
you can do.
So throwing back about a
Noxious
year,
threat.
maybe 2 years, we're in Nax, and we're not to the point where we outgear the place.
It was still there was no Olwar yet. We were still in that tier.
He
content.
put on freaking his block set,
Okay.
which at the point we were in tier 9 included his
Tier 8. Tier
Tier 8?
7.
Tier 7?
Tier 7.
Tier 7, I'm sorry. Tier 7, which included his tier 5 shoulders.
The best block value besides Sunwell, which I didn't have.
While tanking a boss, he didn't tell me he was doing this, went Berserker Stance, which means he was not crit immune, hit Recklessness, which means he took 10% more damage, and started to shield slam. He didn't tell me a thing about this. I'm sitting there healing, no problem.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's your health bar going from full to almost empty.
You and Haruno?
Hit,
All over it.
hit,
All
hit,
over it.
hit.
All over it.
Dude,
didn't
Haruno was
die.
healing the off tank.
It don't
You
matter.
didn't die because I had cooldowns.
I could chain heal. He's everything.
Whatever. dude.
Anyway, so
I was pissed when I figured out what happened. I thought you broke or something.
I heard sometimes though when you do crazy things, you're the worst tank in the world.
Lol, as per
As
random
per random.
balance Drew that we kicked out of the group earlier today. That was
Anyway, as we digress, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So that's the week in WoW. There's not a whole lot of huge changes, other than the fact that we've done some arenas now, and it's pretty good times.
Arenas were a good time.
You may or may not see some highlights from tonight, as we
I
talk
hope so.
about
There,
this.
there were a couple good ones.
We really don't have any PvP gear yet, and we really haven't played arenas since like years ago.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. We really don't even know what we're doing. We're just walking in there and pushing buttons and drinking. This is all inebriated, by the way. This footage you may see, and we just roll around and face roll and see if we can't kill people. It's good times. Might look into doing some rated BGs at some point in time, but yeah, it's good times.
Mhm.
That would
It
be
is
the
good
week in
times.
WoW, I think.
That is the week in WoW. There really wasn't a whole lot. Nothing significant to report. Basically, we're waiting for 4.1 to hit the PTRs.
We really are waiting for 4.1. 4.1 equals new tier of content.
Yes, indeed. It'll be the Firelands raid. It'll be Ragnaros and
Firelands.
the Abyssal Maw.
Yeah. Which we don't really even know. We don't have a list of bosses. We don't really have anything at all. We don't even know if Rag will
I think
be...
it'll be a Sithun type encounter. I think it'll be
You think?
Abyssal Maw. Really, dude?
Hey, I'm just
Dude, you
I'm
fought
just
you
saying.
fought an old god in Twilight Islands. Went down his stomach, a la Sithun. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
I think
What,
it'll be a lot like
do
that.
you think Twilight Highlands will be just Rag? Like Soul Encounter? A mag type thing? Because you saw him out there, but there's definitely a portal. A zone in area.
No, I think it'll be very molten core-ish.
You think Gar will be there?
No.
Think Geddon will be there?
Geddon will be there.
Do you think
Geddon's
Gar...
out in Hajal?
I'm just saying, if Guard and Geddon's there, they better fucking drop bindings and a brand new
Thunder Fury.
Blessed Blade.
Caster staff, what?
I'm just saying. They did talk about a legendary being the first tier content staff for the casters, and that we haven't seen it yet. So anyway,
Brings us to our fourth and final bullet.
fourth and final bullet.
Who is this and what is this?
Who is this? And what's it mean to me? Or, as we have this week, who is...
Hit?
Are we doing hit? Or are we doing, like, when do you push back?
A raid lockout.
Raid lockout. We can do hit. I mean,
Raid lockout is actually pretty interesting.
it's more relevant
right
considering what we just went through.
now. Mm-hmm. So, Blizzard instituted this fantastic tool called an extension. When you raid, much like a heroic, the higher level content is locked out for a certain period of time. For a heroic, it's 24 hours. For a raid, now it's 7 days.
It's a week.
It's 1
Every
week.
Tuesday.
On the maintenance reset on Tuesday, your raid lockouts will reset. However, if you should choose, you're able to extend your raid lockout
1 week at a time.
indefinitely. I think it's 1 week at a time. We'll just say 1 week at
1
a
week
time.
at a
We're not
time.
actually sure.
I'm not sure if
do
you can extend it
indefinitely.
a second time.
It's at least
it's
1
at
week
least
at
a
a time.
week. Yeah.
Basically, let's say you go into a raid instance like Blackwing Descent. Blackwing Descent has 6 bosses.
Absolutely.
We have killed
Semi-linear.
We've killed 5 of them, and we are working on the 6th boss.
Semi-linear, considering the fact that you have to kill the first 5, really in whatever order. You have to kill at least one, and then you could choose any of them but you have to kill 3 more before you can unlock Neff.
Right. But the point is, you've killed 5, you're working on your 6th boss, and the end of your raid schedule hits. If you so choose, you can extend your raid lock another week. Basically, that means it locks that raid at that point of progression. So next week, when you come back to it, instead of having a fresh instance, it's exactly where you were when you left off. So you were still working on your last boss. Now, there are a lot of benefits. There are a few drawbacks. It's very much a sharpened double-edged
It is
sword
definitely a double-edged sword.
at this point in content. The reason we say this is, one, it saves a dramatic amount of time if you're not raiding extensively like our schedule is. We raid 2 days a week. We don't really have the time to continually clear bosses we've already cleared. If we can extend a raid lock while we're on a progression boss, all we do is we go in there and we have 2 full nights to work on said boss. However, the other side of the blade, because many of our raiders, I would say most of our raiders, are still at least half blues, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
How much gear are you missing out on by skipping those first 5 bosses?
Are you crippling your attempts at that harder boss or that later boss?
By preventing the acquisition of gear.
Absolutely.
Each boss in 10-man raids drops 2 loots.
2 pieces of
2
gear.
pieces.
259
2 pieces.
epics.
Right. So that gives you a chance to equip, 5 people with 2 pieces of gear each week. If you're skipping out on that, where does that leave you? Yes, it gives you more time to learn the encounter, but should it be a gear check fight like
Absolutely.
Your Brutalis, your Patchwork, your things like that? Are you helping yourself by learning the fight, or are you hindering yourself by poorly equipping your raid to handle the challenges ahead?
Well, I mean, you might, worst case scenario, you might end up with 10 maelstrom crystals.
Yeah, and that's true. You're not even guaranteed to.
You're
get
not even
loot that you
guaranteed to
needed.
get loot. That's where the real problem comes in. Because we could roll in and get a bunch of cloth spirit gear, which no one in our raid could use. We could run in and get a bunch of cloth gear, which no one in our raid can use. Because
Lol, we have the best
Cairo
gear warlock on the
has
server.
everything that drops.
Hmm?
I mean, he is full epic. Save the trash wand. GG, what the heck, really? I know, right?
Okay.
We didn't have Cairo this week, though.
We
That
hope,
was
we
quite a
hope
shame.
California treated you well. But I mean, it's a dilemma that faces all raid leaders as they move forward in progression.
Well, I mean, last week, and what's worse in our situation? I mean, it's really not worse because really gold, whatever. But we don't even have an enchanter in our raids at the moment. So like last week, you picked up like some gloves or something, or boots or some shit that you already had, or something like that.
I ended up just vendoring them.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, you might as well pick them up because maybe you'll enchant them differently or gem them differently. But really,
Didn't really do anything for me.
it's
Looking back, I should have done it for PvP, but
Nah.
it was only one slot anyway.
one slot, and we rolled over some fools tonight anyway. So.
And I wasn't even holy when we did.
Dude,
Anyway.
WPS, oh my god.
It's neither here nor there.
Lol,
Basically,
that
what
popular.
it's a decision that each raid leader is going to have to make. Do the benefits outweigh the drawbacks? Is time spent on the encounter
Absolutely.
greater than time spent gearing up your raid? And it will depend where you are in progression. As the time goes on and more time is spent in the tier, it will be less of a drawback to extend a raid lock because most of your raiders will already be geared. You won't need the early encounters. What you need is time on the boss.
I think it's based on your goals. I think as we move on to hardcore bosses, hardcore being hard mode, I guess is what I mean to say.
Sure.
Hard mode bosses, when we already have most of our raiders geared, I think then the extend tool will be used extensively. I think that will be, especially what's really brilliant about it is the fact that there's 2 separate raids. There's really 3 separate raids, but there's 2 main raids, right? There's BOT and there's Blackwing Descent, BWD, whatever. And you can extend them separately.
Yeah, separately.
So we can be working on hard mode, whatever, Cimarron, which I can imagine is just a pain in the ass. We can be working on this
Makes me shiver.
and just extend that every week. Clear Bastion of Twilight because someone still needs their Twilight Hammer or whatever.
You know I'll never get that. I'll never get it.
Everyone will get it. I'll have one to tank with before you get it. Regardless, we could clear that every week just because, and then continue to work on hard mode. Now I don't know whether or not, and we should probably do a little research. Maybe you'll even say down here whether or not we can extend it more than 1 week at a time.
Yeah, that's where we need that third person. That
We do need that third person
extremely
to
attractive female. with
extremely attractive female
computer skills.
that can. That
We
can,
know who
that
that.
can
We know,
Google.
we know that they're unified.
I don't think they did. I don't think they exist. They exist. I don't understand.
Definitely exist.
I might edit that part out.
Cider found one.
Cider did find one. Congrats to you, Cider. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this week.
Mormon bastard that he is.
May or may not be Mormon. That's besides the point. That's
Cider, we
religionist.
Cider, we heart you.
We do heart you, Cider. It's Valentine's Day. I
Well,
love
it's
my
Valentine's Day
I love my
last
Heath Ledger.
I do. I'm gonna go get a Heath bar.
I
They're still in there because you hate them.
Hate Heath bars.
It's too bad it wasn't like Snicker Ledger,
A Snicker Ledger would be amazing.
Milky Way Ledger.
If it was a Snickers Ledger, there would no longer
Dude.
be
no, freaking what's the one with the
Reese's Ledger.
with the caramel inside and the
Three Musketeers Ledger.
no, that's not caramel. The caramel
Fucking-
inside Payday. No, not Payday.
So,
1,000 grand or 500 grand or something grand. You know what I'm talking about?
100 grand. What's the
Yes. They're so
Anyway,
good.
we're gonna end it right now because
We're drunk.
yes, and I don't want it to be 35 minutes, which it probably will be.
Well, no, it's 31. 31.
We have
10,
stuff to edit
11,
in and out.
12. Yeah, we need to be done. So that is Noggenfoggered.
That is
That is
Noggenfoggered.
our third week of Noggenfoggered.
Number 3.
For future reference, please send us emails
fuck
to.
Twitters.
It's okay, I got it. To noggenfoggered@gmail.com, or please visit our website at afn.wildstead.com and leave us comments, leave us questions, leave us
On the
content
YouTube channels.
with which with which we can respond.
Absolutely, absolutely. We like questions.
Indeed.
Really, what's the best way? The email. I think.
Email is probably
the
the
email
best
is
way.
probably the best way.
But we will see it regardless.
As we have iPhones and it reaches them
And,
directly.
to that end, we will bid you all adieu and raid well. And we'll see you next week.
Raid well.
Cheers.
Raid well. Lol. I'm having a great
I'm
time.
having
An
an amazing
amazing
time.
time.
Wednesday is the best day of the week.
Best day of my life is Wednesday. It only comes once a week. It's like the best day of my 7s of a life. Whatever that is. I'm causing many people watching this to have epilepsy. Crazy
Yeah, I'm like ADD.
mother exalted. Huh?
I'm ADD with fucking pre-reading shit.
I know, right? You're like so. Alright, bedtime. What's it gonna be? Totally random. Oh shit. Mechanical Yeti. 18 seconds. And. here we go. Mechanical.
I need that macro.
The
Random pet macro.
Dude, jumps out of your fucking pocket. It's funny as shit. DK Shaman?
Go DK.
DK. On DK. That's a good call.
DK
That's a
is
fucking good call.
DK is so dead.
Oh my god, I can't give me freedom. I can't move. You got freedom. Oh my god, I'm
Because
gonna
the
sing.
same team!
Ah!
The team that killed us!
Huh?
There's a team that killed our ass.
Is it really? They're fucking dude! Dude! I want to buy freedom! Want to buy your fucking
Dude,
freedom?
fuck that. I freed myself and killed his ass. That was that same team that killed us